Look, we need to talk about Malaysia. Specifically young Malaysians. They're living in this wild economic paradox. On one hand, you've got these incredible tech leaps. Your phone is your wallet, your office, your entire social life. It's a pocket-sized revolution. But on the other hand, the price of, well, everything feels like it's stuck on permanent increase mode. A cup of tar costs more. Your rent is creeping up, but your paycheck, it's doing its best. Impression of a statue. This creates a pressure cooker environment, especially for young people who are just starting out, trying to build a life while being bombarded by images of success on Instagram. It's a classic case of wanting the future now, but paying for it with debt you can't afford tomorrow. This isn't just a feeling. The numbers are brutal. Let's get into the data, because data doesn't lie. Between 2018 and 2020, Malaysia saw a shocking number of young people, those under 34, declare bankruptcy. We're talking thousands of cases every single year. The Malaysian Department of Insolvency dropped the stats, and they hit hard. Personal loans were the #1 villain, the primary cause of these financial meltdowns. Think about that. It's not lavish mortgages or failed businesses leading the charge. It's small, seemingly harmless personal loans, often taken out to cover daily expenses, buy the latest gadgets, or maybe fund a wedding that looked great on social media, but was a bank account. So what's the deal? Why are so many young people falling into this trap? It's a perfect storm. You have aggressive marketing from lenders, the rise of super convenient buy now, pay later services that make spending feel frictionless, and a culture of keeping up with appearances. That new iPhone, you can pay for it in 12 easy installments. The trendy chow everyone you know is posting from there. The social pressure, amplified by technology, creates a powerful fear of missing out, or FOMO. This isn't just about poor financial literacy, though that's part of it. It's a systemic issue where the tools of modern life are. This cycle is incredibly difficult to break once you're in debt, making it harder to save or invest. It's going time to run up an escalator that's going down. You're putting in all this effort just to stay in the same place. For young Malaysians, this means delaying major life goals, buying a home, starting a family, or even building an emergency fund. They are caught between the promise of a modern tech-savvy lifestyle and the harsh reality of economic stagnation and rising costs. The dream is being sold on credit, and the bill is coming due way too soon, with devastating consequences for an entire generation's financial future. Okay, so why is this happening? On a psychological level, let's pull up some classic macroeconomics, but make it cool. First up, we have the relative income hypothesis. This theory, cooked up by James Denbury, is basically the scientific name for keeping up with the Joneses, or in this case, keeping up with the Syed, S, and the T. It argues that our spending isn't just about our own income. It's heavily influenced by the spending of people around us. When your friends are all unboxing the latest flagship smartphone or vacationing in Bali, your brain's little comparison engine goes into overdrive. You feel like you're falling behind, even if your salary is perfectly fine for a balanced life. This peer pressure is now on steroids. Thanks to social media, your peer group isn't just your neighbors anymore. It's thousands of influencers and friends curating their best lives online. And the relative income hypothesis kicks in hard. You start thinking, if they can have it, why can't I? This leads to what economists call a demonstration effect, where you mimic the consumption patterns of a higher income group. To do that without the matching salary, you turn to credit cards and those tempting buy now pay later schemes. It's a subconscious drive to maintain social standing, but it's funded by future debt. Then there's the life cycle hypothesis. This theory suggests that we try to smooth our consumption over our lifetime. We borrow when we're young and our income is low. We save and pay off debt during our peak earning years, and then we live off those savings when we retire. It's a neat little circle of financial life. On paper, it makes perfect sense for a young person to take out a student loan or a mortgage. You're investing in your future, whether it's education or a home. The expectation is that your income will grow, allowing you to comfortably pay back what you borrowed. But here's the run. This hypothesis assumes your income will actually grow significantly in an economy with sticky prices and wage stagnation. That's a huge gamble. Young Malaysians are borrowing based on the hope of a brighter financial future, but the economic reality isn't always delivering. They're taking on the debt of the high-earning phase of their life, without the guarantee of ever reaching it. When a global pandemic hits or inflation skyrockets, their ability to pay back that debt is crushed. The smoothing of consumption turns into a permanent state of financial anxiety, a life cycle stuck on the borrowing stage. Now let's pivot to tech, because your smartphone is more than just a debt machine. It's a full-blown economic engine. To understand this, we can use the real business cycle model. This model basically says that economic booms and busts aren't just about government policy or interest rates. They're often caused by real technological shocks. Think of the invention of the steam engine or the internet. These weren't just new products. They were fundamental shifts that boosted productivity across the entire economy. And guess what? The smartphone is one of the biggest technology shocks of our generation. It's a productivity tool that fits in your pocket. Consider the explosion in smartphone shipments. Every new model is faster, with better cameras and more powerful processors. This isn't just incremental improvement, it's a positive technology shock. According to the real business cycle model, this shock doesn't just benefit Apple or Samsung, it ripples outwards. An app developer in Kuala Lumpur can now create a business with global reach from their bedroom. A small farmer in a rural area can check market prices in real time and increasing their profits. A delivery rider can use GPS to navigate efficiently, completing more jobs per hour. This is a real, tangible boost to productivity. This productivity boom fuels economic growth. Businesses become more efficient. A construction company can use apps for project management, and a retail store can reach customers through e-commerce platforms. This leads to what the real business cycle model. People are willing to work more today because the technological tools make their labor more productive and hopefully more rewarding. The rise of the gig economy is a perfect example. Leverage their assets: a car, a motorcycle, a spare room, using technology platforms to earn extra income. The smartphone created entirely new jobs that didn't exist 15 years ago. However, the real business cycle model also helps us understand the volatility. Technology changes fast and not everyone can keep up. If a new AI-powered app can do the work of 3 graphic designers, those designers face a negative shock to their specific industry. This creates winners and losers. The model highlights that economic growth driven by technology is often. It demands a workforce that is adaptable and continuously learning new skills. So while your phone is creating immense value and driving growth, it's also contributing to the economic uncertainty that pressures young people to spend and borrow in the first place. So here we are at the intersection of debt, tech and prices. It's a messy, complicated junction, but all these trends are deeply connected. The technology shock from smartphones, explained by the real business cycle model, has created a hyper-connected world. It has boosted productivity and created new opportunities, but it has also jacked up our social expectations. We see curated high-end lifestyles online, triggering our relative income hypothesis brings. We feel the intense pressure to keep up, to have the latest and greatest. Now, the result: we turn to debt. This is where the life cycle hypothesis gets twisted. Young people borrow, expecting their future income to rise and cover the costs, but they're living in an economy with sticky prices, where the cost of living keeps rising, but wages struggle to catch up. This breaks the fundamental promise of the life cycle model. Instead of smoothing their consumption, they are digging a financial hole. The very technology that creates economic growth and opportunity is also the delivery mechanism for the social pressure that fuels the debt crisis. It's a vicious feedback loop. So what's the lesson here for young people? It's about developing a new kind of literacy, not just financial, but digital and psychological. It's about understanding the algorithms and social pressures that are designed to make you spend. It means consciously separating your self-worth from your consumption patterns. It's about leveraging technology for what it's good for: education, productivity, connection, while resisting its power to push you into debt. It means having the courage to live within your means, even if it's not the most glamorous life you see on your feed. It's hard, but it's essential for long-term financial survival. And for policymakers, you can't ignore this. You need to tackle this from both ends. That means pushing for better wages that keep pace with productivity gains. It means strengthening consumer protection laws around buy now, pay later and predatory lending. But it also means investing heavily in education that addresses this new reality. We need to teach young people about the relative income hypothesis in school. We need to show them how to build a budget in a world of one-click purchases. The Malaysian economy is on a roller coaster, and if we don't give the next generation a seatbelt, the ride is going to end badly for everyone. Let's look at two brands. Shipping Shaya is Asia's business. Sky Asia and Chai Asia. The region's top low-cost airline saw its net profit in 2020 for year revenue client, and 30% growing Chinese TICH. Chen with over $6,340 million in income last year. Companies stick to which pricing strategy, really adjusting to changing market conditions like inflation or recession. This is where the new engineer economics model top price ICU S-words. Businesses may delay changing prices due to brand identity or customer expectations. Even perfectly competitive markets, companies like Eurasia and Chaji have some pricing power. Rather than respond instantly to every shock, they choose stability, maintaining prices to build loyalty and trust.